Welcome back to the show. Now we're getting to album reviews and start off with our first album review with Bob's new album. In his project, Bob's really displays, a lot of different styles. As some of it's, straight rap, singing, and then chill vibes. You have the track with him just trading bars with Cole on Home Alone, and obviously there was a big anticipation because it had been such a big gap
Mhm.
before his last project. And I think this was a good display of what Boz really does best. I think the intro really set the tone. I feel as though it was a really dope intro. I think Choppa's was a really good track. Risk, Home Alone, obviously. There's a lot of tracks on here where I feel as though because some of we mentioned Passport Bros wasn't we weren't as big a fans of that track, but I think
Yeah.
sometimes when he went into that lane, that was kind of the weak part of the album because it kind of got it went into a dance hall feel that was kind of repetitive. But I think overall this was a good project. This was a good follow up for him, and I think he's underrated. Bob, like you said, Bob
Yeah.
is kind of like one of those people that kind of goes under the radar, doesn't get that much acclaim, but is a very talented MC. To you, kind of like what were your overall takeaways from this project?
Yeah. I always call him like the Tim Duncan of hip hop or
Yeah,
rap. It's just consistent. It's not going to be flashy. It was interesting you said about the dance hall feel that it was redundant and repetitive. I thought it was a nice switch of pace. Um, some of the things
not
he,
all of it. A couple of
oh no,
tracks, a
yeah,
couple
yeah,
of tracks.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Some were like okay, they were cool. I do think it gave it some seasoning to it because at some point I was like, okay, I don't know where you're trying to go, what you're trying to portray in this. Like the production was awesome. Like
right.
we only talk about real ish when we effed up. I was like, okay, I still don't like feel
Kind
like
of a vague title.
yeah, I don't know what you're trying to do with this album. Like he had some nice songs. I didn't like all the songs J. Cole was on. There were I mean Passport Bros. I see it was a more of a um album song now
It
because
is an
it
album
does
song.
flow. I love what he had. It's like number nine. I think 1 and 7 Deadly. I think I did like that track and it
That was
flowed nicely.
crazy. That track
Yeah,
was crazy.
it flowed nicely into Passport Bros. And then I was like, hold up, this sound familiar. And then I looked, I was like, oh yeah, it's Passport Bros. Okay. So, but I do like the flow of it, but I just didn't understand some of the placement of songs or the ideas or the concepts behind some of the songs. I'm like, okay, I really don't get it. But
Yeah.
I did like it. I did like it. There was like I like the back half of it. If that I don't know.
Oh,
I
you
like
like
the
this? You
back
like the
half.
second half more?
Yeah, I like from 11 down.
Yeah.
Well,
For
I
me,
didn't
it's the first half I like
the
better.
first half. I don't know. It was certain songs on there that were cool, but like when it got to the back half, I thought it was really dope. Like I liked it. I really enjoyed like the dance hall because some of it was like okay, you sound like Cole.
And maybe that's what it was. I felt like he was imitating somebody. It sounded like an imitation of somebody. Maybe like that was why some of the tracks, some of those dance hall tracks didn't work for me. But I because I do like when Boss sings, like when he was singing like on Risk and even
Yeah.
Choppas. Like
Oh,
it can really work. But what track was that you were playing?
paper cuts. I didn't
Oh,
try
Paper
to
Cuts.
press. I'm looking at the. You didn't like
I didn't
that
really
one.
I didn't really like Paper Cuts.
That was the closest thing we would get to. I'm on my night job. It wasn't the same type of feel, but it was like what we were talking about. We were looking for that type of track. That's the closest of all the four songs. That's the
Did you like
closest
Home
we
Alone?
got to. I liked Home Alone.
Yeah,
I
Home
liked
Alone was
Home
dope.
Alone. I didn't like Passport Bros. Paper Cuts was all right. It was another one he was on.
I think he was only on three. He was on Home
He
Alone,
said he was
Passport
on
Bros.
four. He said I'm on four songs from with my brother. I can't remember, but anywho, but nah, yeah, it was. I think it was solid. Uh, yeah, man, it was
Do,
okay.
do, do you think this is one you're going to revisit a lot, or is just time will
Couple
tell?
songs, probably like four songs, like Home Alone. Um, there's a couple of dance hall songs. I can't remember the name of it, but they're gonna get saved. I'm gonna go back through them and say probably like four songs. 4 out of 17 is actually a bad. It's actually bad, actually. So it wasn't a solid album.
I was about to say, man, that's a low ratio.
At least has to be.
Black Jedi was crazy.
Yes.
Intro was really good. Um,
You talking about Light of My
one,
Soul?
yes,
It was all right.
179. You didn't like the intro as much?
No, I didn't really. It was okay. Like it wasn't.
It didn't wow
I don't
you.
know. No, it
You're
didn't.
just kind of
It
like
didn't wow me.
179 Deli is underrated, super underrated. I thought that track
Hold up.
was dope. Yeah, I like
Yes.
how he did. I like that switch. Yeah,
Yes. When
yes.
it came on, I was like,
I was
okay,
that
that beat
one was like
fire.
okay, yeah, that beat is
Let
crazy.
me go ahead and save that one. That was definitely one of the ones I really liked. I can't remember the names of them right now, but yeah, that was a dope one. That beat is
I can't
crazy.
even lie. I can't even lie. When I was listening to it, I was like, man, I really got to rap on a beat like that one day. I
That's
was
good.
like,
That's that drill type of New
yes,
York drill type beat. Yeah.
definitely. And now getting to our next review with Big K.R.I.T, regardless, is still timeless. In this four-track surprise EP, focus on half of it being an upbeat approach, and the other half aiming for hit songs that his fan base is more used to. And this is interesting because it's been a while since we've got new Big K.R.I.T music. Obviously, he's
Yeah.
gearing up for another project, and like the second half feels more so of what Big K.R.I.T is used to making in the first half is a little just trying to be experimental. What did you think about this EP overall? Because some of the tracks I didn't like the whole EP, but a couple I liked. I feel as though especially when it's a 4-track EP, it's like you really got to just be like on the
I knew he
mark.
was
You
gonna
really got to
say
be on
that.
the
I knew he
mark.
was gonna say that.
You really got to be on the mark. Because if it's like 6 or 7, you might
Excuse me.
I can give you some leeway. Before like you really got to be just hitting it on the mark. What did you kind of think about it overall?
I liked it. I like that he was more experimental. That's what you do on EPs. That's what we like artists to do. Like obviously it's gonna take, some time to like really.
I just need to listen to it more.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
I
one of it.
thought I thought it was I thought it was strategic, especially Man on the Moon. I think the concept and the beat switch, like I think it was my sub, that beat switch, and then it
Oh
went
yeah, that was
into.
crazy.
I was like, oh my goodness. So I
Yeah,
mean, it definitely has potential, and I see where he was going with it to kind of just give a sample, but he did give us like something that could be played on the radio, some conscious. The Man on the Moon was more conscious to me. Y'all can put a man on the moon, but you can't. Like it was, I thought it was,
it
I thought it
makes
was a
sense.
dope concept, but I do think I see where you coming from. Like if you're gonna do 4 songs, like it got to be. I liked it. I liked it. It got saved. I liked it. I like King Part 5. Set 'Em Free was dope. My sub was crazy, and then that beat
That was
switch it
crazy.
sold me. I
So
was like,
good.
what is going on here? That's dope. At first, it was like I wanted to hate it because why did you switch it up, bro? It was flowing
It was
perfectly,
going so good.
and it won me over. It won me over. I don't know the
Definitely.
Garfield Bright dude. I don't know who that is, but he did an okay job with the sample of the other song
Yeah.
with him. Yeah,
It's a good starter. It's a good starter for whatever the album is going to, for whatever his aim for the album is. So
yeah,
it's definitely one of those EPs. I feel as though, like you said, it's a strategic one. He's definitely being like, hey, this is very much so what I'm going to try to test for the project. And now get into our next review with Noname Sundial. In this album released earlier this year, but she's trying to bring about a renaissance of more storytelling in hip hop and a focus on intellect. There's topics of anger, violence, and identity that are addressed. And I really like how the storytelling in this is really kind of highlighted. I think for her project, she's always kind of tried to bring a different approach, and especially when it comes to like a renaissance of hip hop and just trying to be more artistic, which I think all of her music is like that's mainly the biggest element of it. What did you kind of think about this project? It has some jazzy feels to it. Obviously, more rapping and lyrical. What did you kind of think about it overall?
you know. At first, I was like, "Who is this?" But I remember for the J Cole thing,
Yes,
I wanted to hate it, but it won me over. It had some moments in there
had some moments.
where I wanted not like her voice. A couple songs was like, okay, I'm skipping that. I don't like your voice to this beat. But there was a lot of tracks on here that really sold me on her creativity and her ability to get the right people on tracks.
Yes, that's impressive.
Yeah, she's very impressive. Her pen is nice. Storytelling is amazing. Her voice is more, obviously she's better with slow tracks with her voice, but like with faster songs, she kind of won me over
Yeah,
in certain moments. And I think that's, if I would say her Achilles heel or like her weakness is faster tracks. But I
yeah,
think her creativity, her hook writing, and her storytelling ability are really, really good. And I
true.
think out of 11, and it's precise with 11 songs, I think two songs out of 11, two songs I didn't like. So I think that's a
That's a
solid
high
project.
that's a high rating.
That's a solid project. There's only two songs that I skipped, and I was like, nah, I'm okay. I don't like your voice to that beat, so I'm gonna move it. The intro, Black Mirror, like I
Intro was
wanted,
I was
I
repeating
wanted
that
to dislike it.
I was
Yeah,
repeating that one a lot. That one was on repeat for me.
she was, yeah, bro. Like, yeah, she's got it.
The first thing that popped in my head when I was listening to the project, she knows how to start an album. She really
Yeah,
knows how to start an album. I
yeah.
was like, "Yep, I'm in."
I
Like,
knew
just
what.
got straight to it.
Yeah, straight to it. Knew what direction she want to go into. Like the first song really laid the map of the next song. "Hold Me Down" was a nice track. "Balloons" was a nice track. "Boom Boom" was a nice track. It was one fast song. I was like, oh no. And then she just went crazy on it. The hook was nice, the beat was nice, and then her verse was really strong. Like she surprised me in a lot of moments. This is the first like full project I listened to. Because the only song I listened to prior to this is her little diss track to J. Cole.
J. Cole. Yeah, a lot of people
And
know
I
her
was,
from that. Yeah.
yeah, and I was like, baby girl, you need to
Why
stop
you dissing J.
rapping.
Cole? Why you dissing J. Cole? Why you dissing J. Cole?
But yeah, no, this was solid. Not on 11 songs. I think that's a solid project.
Definitely. What do you think is gonna be like? Where can you see her career going? Like with her kind of keeping this formula. Like what do you want to see from her going forward with the newer projects?
If she stays with this, I want to call it conscious rap or to the like the feel she is, she's gonna get lost in history because that's what they do with hip hop connoisseurs. I believe she's a hip hop connoisseur and she's a conscious
She
person
studies
who
it.
raps, studies hip hop. So study, I mean, the history shows like those type of rappers don't like today don't get that type of praise, and I think it's crazy because she tells a story, which is what hip hop was anyways, telling your story, what you're going through, your surroundings, and I think she does that beautifully. But I think she's going to be in the wayside because she's going to have those commercial tracks, commercial hits type of songs. She's gonna get lost like Conway the Machine, like even Freddie Gibbs. Like all these guys don't have those radio hit songs, but I feel like they're hip hop connoisseurs. So, but I think she can. She needs to continue on this road and pave the way for other female artists who's rapping like this and saying it's just a nice feel. If you love hip hop, you'll like this album.
You'll
I,
like
I
this.
liked it.
Definitely. And now get into our next review with Kenyon Dixon's The R&B You Love review. In this project, there's an embrace of different decades and eras of R&B. He tries to cover all the vintage elements of those eras, and overall, it's a smooth listen. I do like the fact that he really did add the interlude element of it. I really did respect because I feel as though like when you add interludes and it can really like
I love interludes.
transition perfectly, and when you place it the right way, I thought he did a smart job of interweaving that, and I thought this was a smooth project overall.
Yeah.
He has a good sound. He has a just the song structure. I think for a lot of these tracks worked, and he knew how to put this one together. What did you kind of
Yeah.
think about this one overall?
This was cool. Like I love the interlude aspect. I was like, okay, that's a lot of interludes, sir. Um,
I was gonna say, yeah,
yeah,
he's
that's like
spazzing.
5 or 6
He's
interludes. Fascinated. But I do think they kind of at at some point slowed, like it kind of
yeah,
connected the project
you could
together.
see what he was doing.
And some of these are preludes more than the interludes.
True.
Like obviously you got 2000 R&B interlude, then you got 2000 R&B. I see these as preludes instead of interludes.
Interludes, yeah.
Um, but I think I like the interludes better than I like the songs that preceded them and came after. Like the interludes were my favorite. You know, I'm an interlude guy.
Oh yeah,
And then my two favorite songs on here was "And Then Some" with Alex Isley, and then with Cause
Alex killed it.
Fantasy.
Fantasy
Man,
was insane.
Cause is an underrated rapper. Shout out to Dreamville. Man, I think Cos is such an underrated rapper. Don't get his flowers when he needs it, but I think he's a phenomenal rapper who's so versatile and can fit on any track you give him. And his voice is just his cadence. It's just brilliant, man. But those are my two favorite songs. I thought it was solid. I didn't know who the guy was. I do think he has potential. I have to listen to his old music to see kind of like how he's progressed and where he could go.
When you saw the title, what did you think? The R&B you love, where you're like, okay, this got better. This got better. Impress me.
The R&B you love.
I was like, okay, you better come
I
with something.
don't, I don't remember Usher having 10 interludes, cuz.
It's not the R&B I know.
Right. I don't never know nobody have like 10 interludes, sir. Okay, now
You
you
went
better be.
crazy with the interludes.
Yeah. Went stupid crazy.
Um, with R&B overall this year, are there? I know we're gonna save our top three favorite albums that we do every year for the next episode. But are there any? Maida's album, man, is just still sticking with me, bro. It's just still sticking with me, and she released a. I don't know if you saw this. She released a live version of those tracks, of some of those tracks, and I was like, bro, she sounds great even in the live setting. So that one
That's
and Cleo
dope.
Soul and Cleo Soul's album is still working for me.
That's my favorite. It's my favorite. Right now, there's still a couple weeks
Still
left.
a couple weeks left. Yeah, we're not gonna
I'm
spoil
hoping
anything.
Joey drops his album. I don't know if he's gonna drop it to tell. I think he's gonna drop it next year, but Joey's one I'm looking forward to. But I think Cleo Soul's album is my favorite from this year.
Definitely. And now getting into our next review with Joey Battie's Eric, the Architect and Far Shook Up review. In this new track, which is Eric the Architect's third total single of the year, he details a complicated relationship with a woman, discussing how to move forward with the situation. It's got a smooth boom bap beat to it, and each artist brings something different to the track. And I, when you do bring three artists together, you want them to bring their own type of element, whatever their unique approach is. And I thought this was a dope track to really kind of complement all those artists. What did you kind of think about this one overall? And do you feel as though these three, complement each other?
I do. I do. I knew it's gonna be boom bap. It's gonna be that type of vibe. And I think everybody hold their own. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Joey.
Yes,
And I thought this song was really dope. I thought it was smooth. I think you could listen to it in so many different elements in so many different times. Like this can be like a chill song. You listen to around the crib, some you ride to, some you start your morning to. I really thought it was dope. I thought the storytelling was good. I mean, it was all around fire. When it came
for
out,
sure.
it was like I've been listening to it for a while, so it definitely
Yeah,
got
this was
saved.
one you recommended. This was one you recommended. So
Yeah,
I knew you liked it. Yeah, definitely.
yeah, definitely a single song
It
to me.
is. It
To me,
is. Yeah,
yeah,
I thought so too. I thought so
definitely
too.
a single song. I think we're the first. You have to do this, bro. You have to stamp this. We're the first podcast, I believe, who kind of differentiates between songs that are singles or songs that should be on an album.
Man,
I think we're the first
I listen
podcast.
to a lot of podcasts. I haven't heard a lot of podcasts do
No,
that. I listen to
no,
a lot.
we're the
I haven't.
first.
I think we really are. This is something that's kind of exclusive to Full Scope. So
Full
for
scope,
sure.
baby. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. We're trendsetters.
For sure. When you said that, I was like, oh, like I have not heard another podcast do that. So
No,
that is
bro.
definitely true. That is definitely true.
All
Lil,
these who, all these dudes do
Lil
reviews.
Baby,
Little
Lil Baby
baby,
dropped two songs. He dropped two songs. Playboy Cardi dropped two songs recently. Did you check out any of? Because I know he's kind of falling off for you. Lil Baby
Playboy.
is kind of Playboy Cardi and not Lil Baby because I
I
know
didn't
like
know little baby draw. I have to go listen to it. Playboy, I don't, man.
to me
He,
like and I know he has a big fan base, but it just
that's
sounds like the
all
same thing
old
to me.
music, bro. I was having a discussion with somebody else with the young homies. He was like, "Man, Playboy got so many monthly listeners. That's old music, bro.
I
That's
still listen
old,
to Dilate. I still listen to Dilate. Dilate is a
bro. I still
great album.
listen to Hey Pierre, wanna come in here, bro? I
I
play
love
a song
that.
too much, bro.
I am listening to the old Cardi, not this.
Woke
Like,
up, niggas try to like me, bro. Bro, that's what I used to listen to. You know what I'm talking about? And man, it's the music's not the same. I
not the
think the
same.
drive is not the same. He looked just like he just looked demonic at this point, bro. Bro, He ain't fighting demons. He's welcoming demons,
It's
bro.
like I am with you.
Bro, I'm okay. You can have him. You understand me? I don't, yeah, but I gotta go listen to Lil Babies. A lot of people say he dropped off. I don't think he dropped off. I don't think he dropped off. I don't think he dropped off yet.
I'm just gonna say this: 2021. After his wants and needs verse, the hype for Lil Baby was never higher. Like
No.
when he went on that track and did what he did, people were like, "Oh, he might be like going on a run." And then it just
Yeah,
that last album didn't do it.
yeah. I think it was more. I think he should stop doing albums and do more features. I think that's
Yeah,
where,
he would kill that.
yeah, because he did the feature with the baby, the rock star. He killed that. No, was that him
I think that
or
was
was
him.
that yeah? And then he did even with Drake's other album off CLB.
Girls Want Girls.
Yeah, goes his verse was really nice. I think he was up there with Drake because he was like, man,
We
he's
championed that song. We championed that song
yeah,
when it came out. Now everybody likes it. That song's fire.
bro, fire. And he said Drake is the only rapper that makes him actually right.
That's true. Because
So
Drake
just
is a great songwriter.
yeah,
He knows
because
songwriting.
yeah, he's a ghostwriter. He has ghostwriters. Everybody has ghostwriters.
Get into that ghostwriter conversation.
Father, stretch your head.
Wow, the stretch, man. That now I'm thinking about that W freestyle.
That thing was fire,
That was
bro.
crazy. Well, that wraps it up for tonight. I'm your host, Wendell Burns. I'm my counterpart, Savon Morris. This has been Full Scope. See you later.